Now that we have our create postback action done, let's go ahead and jump into our login postback and add our database functionality there so that we can log in using our credentials from the database. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to use that using statement, and we'll set up our context. So equals a new WSAD DB context. And then we're going to do some of this work inside of the using statement. And then I'm going to also, because I need a variable to identify if I was successful in logging in, I'm going to create a local boolean, and I'm going to say is valid. I'll actually do it as a lowercase I. And I'm going to set it to false. I'm going to assume that the login is invalid until I can prove it otherwise. So we're not to the point of talking about hashing passwords, so I'll skip that, but we will query for the user based on the username and password plain text. So again, we will do an if context.users.any, and then this will be our row. So then we'll say where the row.username equals, and then our login view model is called login user.username. So let me actually break this out so it's a little easier to read. So we're going to do that if any. So if there's any users in the database where the row username equals the login user username and row.password equals login user.password. So if we have any of those, then we'll say is valid equals true. And then this part we can actually move out of the using statement, and then we'll wrap this inside of an if. So then we'll say if not is valid, then we can say model state dot add model error invalid, this is our key, comma, invalid username or password. So that'll be our error message, and then we'll return to the view. Else, meaning the user is authenticated, we'll then do that work of redirecting back to the default. All right, so we have those pieces in place now. So now our authentication will function as designed. So let's go ahead and run. And we will navigate to account. And so we will start by putting in no credentials. Username is required. Right. And then we will put in a bad username and password. And we get invalid username or password. Put in good username and password. And we are logged in. All right, very good. So now we have our login in place and we have our create account in place. The only thing that we are missing is, we actually have a link here to create. So if we click that link, we can create a new account as well. Great. So we are at a good starting point to get our app up and running.